Hey, it's Pike. Welcome to Valheim. This is the server that I play with my brother and our friend. And I don't really have a plan specifically on what to show. I might even show like the seed before, like as you can probably see from here, how much I raised up the land. I raised up all of the land here. Spent way too much time in stone on doing that, but it's mostly just this base, and I did most of the building since I was spending most of the time on the server. But I might show a couple other areas, just go through some of these portals. So this is where we keep pretty much every portal. There's a couple other ones around the house. It's a project that I kind of stopped doing. And that's where that portal connects to the spawn. It's cramming everything in here. There were going to be two people that joined us, but they never ended up joining, so we crammed a bunch of extra beds in here, but they just never ended up joining. So it's still cramped. This area is like an extension, and the house used to just be up to here. But when I started doing the interior, to like cook, we had like a fire here, just normal one. But when we got the hearth, I couldn't obviously fit a hearth right here. You wouldn't be able to use any of this kitchen area. And these were just thrown under the stairs because there was an area to do it. So we extended this just so we could have some hearths and cooking area. There used to be a small dock here that I built, but I tore it down and built a big one since I was like every once in a while whenever we end up playing this, I always end up playing a lot afterwards. Well, not always, but most of the time I'll end up playing, like we'll stop and then I'll play for a couple hours afterwards and then play by myself for the next several days, and I'm usually just building stuff. So one of those times I built a dock, but then another time I wanted to build a bigger dock, so I tore the old one down. And again, like pretty much all of this area at least was almost entirely water level. Maybe I guess I could leave some sections in here and try and see how editing it in other clips would be. Because I have the seed, I'm pretty sure I didn't delete it because I wanted to, even before I started recording, I had the thought of trying to take some pictures to like just show some before and after. And also maybe learn that there's like a Black Forest Tower somewhere over there. That like stuff like that will, like its position is saved in the seed, but its orientation isn't, which was pretty interesting. There was a path because there was some copper that we were mining over there. This is a more recent addition. We used to just have just wooden palisades. I've been wanting to kind of make all of this like integrate stone into the entire wall. You can kind of see it over on this side, I think. Some farm stuff, some boar farms. It was annoying when the boar stuff didn't work. When I was lucky too, like just after we like built our first like starter house here. One time when I was playing by myself, there's just a 2-star boar right up on the other side of the wall. Our friend Danny ended up building this raised exterior wall. I cleaned it up a bit later, but he did pretty much the entire wall raising. I did all the ground raising. Did this too. A bit of a farm area. We have a wood farm here. This is like a shed for wood and stone. But we have like the normal wood with the wood farm. And then a plains farm with like a tiny island. I guess I'll just go through all the portals later. Yeah, I should probably get some nice shots of the house. The trees get in the way. Maybe I'll go up onto the wall. And you can see I ended up building this before I even built like a dock area because I just kind of I had like this is the second time like we restarted this for the Hearth and Home update, and I did something pretty similar at our old base. I wanted to build another bit of a bridge kind of thing going over that you like sail under to get to the area where you want to park your boat. Yeah, these towers, like, the orientation was different when I was looking at the world that I started to see the try and do it before and after. I really wish that they'd make it so you could plant bushes and whatnot, because I kind of want to make, because like as you can see I've done like the flattened, I don't even know what you'd call this, I can't, the word's escaping me, but I wanted to make it kind of like an orchard. Like, so obviously because they planted a bunch of trees, but I'd love to have like some like berry bush, like honestly grapevines would be nice or something. And I wasn't, like with lots of things when I'm building, I never really plan this. I was honestly hoping that these would, because like, I'll kind of go back to explain my point a bit, but when I was raising all the, like all the ground here, these stones will like stay at the same height. Like if you load out and load back in, they should raise up to the new like height that the terrain's at. I was hoping that these would too. And I think it did a little bit, but I could just be misremembering. I wasn't really planning when I was building this. I kind of was thinking about making some kind of like making this entire where it would just go from like here-ish over here, or even just this entire area even over there into like some harbor or something, but my motivation comes like the waves and tides and whatnot. Sometimes it's here, sometimes it's not. guess I'll go through these portals first and then kind of work my way up through the house. The wood farm that my brother made. You plant them all here. And that's just all storage. I sailed around here because every once in a while I think I just want to sail around the entire map. We really haven't explored this one very much. In our last world, my brother was building the base down at the bottom. I was building a base over here on the east. Took a bite way bigger. Like I expected. I was hoping that the wood iron beams would do a lot more. I was trying to build some giant bridge between two mountain peaks and have like the only way to get to my quote unquote base would be just crossing over the bridge. But I kept on having to downscale and downscale, and then I just kind of gave up. And our friend Danny was building over here in the west. Well, east, I mean, west and east. My dumbass confuses that too much. But he was building in the Mistlands before they just tore everything out of it to change it. He was building up one of the giant trees, spiraling all around it. So we explored a ton of the old map. And this is for farming the plains crops, so we don't have to do it like on the, you know, my brother and his friend, our friend, were sailing and they marked this island since it would be a good option to just farm there, so we don't have to deal with spawns, so we can just spawn proof it real easy. There's nothing here, but I'll just go to the spawn real quick just so you don't think, what's in that portal? In our old world, my brother built a big thing surrounding the spawn. It was just like a stone path around it with pine trees in between where each, like, more like a direction change of the stone and everything. Help hold up the really tall roofs, and I had portals all around it. If he still has it like saved, maybe I'll try and download it and show that one if there's any interest in that. And over here is the other project thing that I was thinking about, and I haven't really done much, but there's like those big indestructible stone circles. There's one here, and there's one right over there. So I kept thinking about connecting in between them. And just having bridges over it. But obviously you can see I haven't done much other than raise some ground. maybe that's something I'll do. And if I end up doing it, no promises. No promise that I will. But if I end up making some progress, maybe I'll do a short video about it. I really hope that I haven't checked anything, so I don't know if maybe they have, but I hope they have some official spiral stair things, because these are really tedious and they don't even work very well. Like, most of the time you have to sprint, otherwise you'll end up getting caught on any little inconsistencies. No clue what lots of these portals are. I'm just assuming most of them are just places where we were getting resources from. Yeah. A big silver island. Like, pretty sure we were doing this pre-ice caves. Maybe. Yeah. Maybe I'll do the boss ones first. This is our trader. Well, that's why we keep all of our money in that chest next to it. And like gems and whatnot. We haven't even found the Yagluth spawn. Nothing to market or even just stumbling across one of the hands in the first place. Something that I always find annoying is like inconsistencies between different people and different symbols. Because whenever I think of this symbol, I think of like a portal. I'm gonna use this for like resources, this for like combat, this for like points of interest, and this is just like home. But my brother uses this as like spawns and stuff, or like important items. Not really much to see here because Bone Mess is not. We didn't build it on it. We had this portal here for when we gathered all the metal here and then sailed it all back to base. You can see we flattened it because this was just almost entirely on a hill. This is like a bit of safety in case you got knocked off somehow. this is. Ah, this is... We just ran all the silver down the mountain. And we had this as like another temp holding area. Oh yeah, I found this while exploring and threw a portal down since it looked interesting. I think this is where... That's just like where we've been mining iron most recently. So it's always useful. Yeah. And another bone mass spawn. Oh yeah. In our old one I had a dwarf farm with wolves and I've been thinking about doing it, but we only have no star wolves, I think. Maybe we have 2-star, I can't remember if we got them, but I was also thinking maybe I just use it for training as well. For skills and whatnot. So every once in a while I'll just jump into there and beat up dwarves for a while. I haven't done that in a long time though. This is where we were most recently exploring. Because we numbered them and we kind of grabbed numbers randomly. We'll just bounce around and everything, so we're not really sure what number to grab. We don't really need the black metal unless they added something in the Mistlands update to give him some more use. No clue what this is. I wouldn't be surprised if it's another mountain. Well, I think this was from one... It feels like when we were looking for ice cave stuff, one of the mountains that we were doing stuff on. I feel like I remember just hopping around that area. In a swamp area. And this is where the bone mass spawn is. I wonder why we have this portal here. another mountain area. This is just where I stopped when I was messing around, sailing around. That's just me almost sailing off, and the second time almost sailing off. Because I think that, I don't know exactly, but it feels like it might have, the closer you get, the more it can pull you towards the edge. Like it has a bit of a current going off the edge. So every once in a while I just get a bit too close and almost go off. No clue what this is. I guess there's another stockpiling area where we filled up and then sailed off. Or I guess, yeah, since this is south, this must be where my brother and our friend sailed down one time when I wasn't playing. It was just them two. And that's when they found the small island where our plains farm is. So they just ran through here and marked stuff and maybe even mined some iron or something. Or black metal, I guess, is what they got here. And then the small nationalized area. Not really a lot to look at. Just the base is anything interesting. So maybe I'll try and see if I can download the old world, and hopefully it won't just be destroyed from updates and everything, but you'd at least have some more interesting stuff to look at if that's anything that interests all you. And by saying all you, I mean the couple of you that I could probably count on both of my hands. I'd be lucky to be able to need to use a second hand to count. So that's pretty much it. Nothing is popping out in my head. I'm just gonna end this here, I think. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. And I'll see you next time.